The 2021 campaign also featured some change. 4 new head coaches in the East Penn Conference as the season kicked off in late August. Sean Dano at Liberty, Mel Thomas at William Allen, Kyle Haas at Bethlehem Catholic, and former Southern Lehigh sideline Sergeant John Toman assuming Haas's previous post at Northampton. The Concrete Kids hosting Haas and the Golden Hawks in a Week 1 primetime showdown. An early season statement win by Northampton, the only EPC North team to earn a crossover victory in the season's opening week.
King looking for a man, he's got one! It is caught at the 3, touchdown! That's Jalen Richardson for the King Kids!
For the rest of the EPC South, the season started with a bang. Freedom, Emmaus, and Nazareth all posted 50 or more points in resounding Week 1 wins, while Easton got 6 rushing touchdowns on just 6 carries from senior tailback Marcus Williams in opening the newly renovated Cottingham Stadium in style.
It all started when we walked out of that locker room right before the game started, because that's when the stands are filled and the band is playing and the kids in Rover Nation are, it's been a long time that, since that's happened, and it was a special and emotional feeling being able to walk out to that again.
It just felt good, just to be back on the field, We waited for this game for a long time to get the fans back in the stadium, and it just felt good to get the win.
Perennial power Parkland had its season opener at Pleasant Valley canceled due to COVID precautions, but returned with a vengeance in Week 2, earning a come-from-behind 24-21 win at Easton. That week actually featured a host of tightly contested EPC South showdowns. Central Catholic topped Liberty 14-7, while Emmaus held Freedom to its lowest offensive output in nearly 4 years in a 13-6 win at East Penn School District Stadium. Those close calls around the league, a sign of things to come, as the EPC featured as much parity and competitive balance as we've seen in recent years. The Trojans opened their season with 3 straight wins before a late September loss at Central. The Vikings also opened the 2021 campaign with 3 wins in a row before falling at Easton in Week 4. Whitehall started its season 3-0 as well. The early season surge capped by Saquon Barkley's jersey retirement at Zephyr Stadium. The now NFL superstar running back providing motivation for current Whitehall tailback Nigel Linton, who found the end zone 3 times in a night he won't soon forget.
It's a big night for Whitehall community, and it's an honor for him to actually come and watch my game, and it was amazing. I had got a little fire under me. I didn't take my foot off the gas. I just kept running and running and running.
The Red Rovers won 4 straight from mid-September to mid-October, only to close the regular season with a 7-point setback at Nazareth. Emmaus also surged during the season's midpoint with 5 straight wins, but faltered down the stretch, dropping its final 2 regular season outings. Meanwhile, after a 2-2 start and an inspirational mid-season message from The Rock, Freedom rallied for 6 straight victories to close the regular year in capturing the EPC South title.
Here's play action, Taylor under duress, makes a man miss, fires, that's on, it's Nighting! Nighting has the football touchdown, Patriots!
There wasn't that kind of drama in the EPC North, though, where Northampton cruised to a regular season title with a perfect 10-0 record, the first unblemished regular season campaign in program history. The K-Kids won 7 of their 10 outings by double digits, including an EPC North clinching 48-7 triumph over Deerfield in Week 9. That before closing regular season action with a Cement Bowl victory against rival Whitehall.
Yeah, I think tonight we proved ourselves a little bit, but we still got a lot to prove, and it feels good to make history. Our whole motto this week was to be 10-0 and be the only team in Northampton history to do that.
Meanwhile, the first year of the Colonial Schuylkill League merger offered the kind of competitive balance teams were hoping for when the cooperative effort was first announced back in January of 2019. Palmerton claimed the White Division behind an 8-2 regular season mark, which included a 7-game winning streak from early September to late October, and saw the Blue Bombers average better than 47 points per game during their run, thanks in part to sophomore signal caller Matt Mahalik, who produced multiple touchdowns in 9 of 10 regular season games. The Red Division was a 3-horse race between North Schuylkill, Notre Dame Green Pond, and Northern Lehigh. The Bulldogs won 4 straight to close the regular season in finishing 7-3 overall, while the Crusaders came out firing, rattling off 5 straight wins, before a heavyweight collision with North Schuylkill in early October went the way of the Spartans, ultimately sealing the division for the natives of Ashland. While the Gold Division featured a host of perennial contenders, many of whom enjoyed both some highs and lows this fall. Bangor saw its postseason hopes dashed in a Week 9 loss to Pottsville, but the Slaters responded a week later with a resounding 53-0 victory in the 102nd all-time meeting with rival ARGYL. Bangor's triumph, the 150th career coaching win for Paul Raduzzi. Senior running back Cale Godshalk, who had fallen twice before to the Green Knights, scored 4 touchdowns in earning game MVP honors.
I mean, this game in general just means so much to me, and especially losing 2 in a row, that's never good. But I have so many people that have roots in this game, my whole family, so it just means a lot. We turned the program around this year, and I think that trophy is going to stay in Bangor for a long time now.
Southern Lehigh, meanwhile, stumbled out of the gates. The Spartans dropped each of their first 6 games this year, but Phil Sam's group rallied for 4 straight victories to close the regular season. Triumphs over Saucon Valley, Blue Mountain, Lehighton, and Salisbury, in which Southern Lehigh outscored its opposition 140-52. The Spartans' ascension directly correlating with the growth and maturation of sophomore QB James Wisecarver, who amassed 10 total touchdowns, including 7 on the ground, in the season's final 4 weeks. But the class of the Gold Division and of the entire Colonial Schuylkill League in 2021 was Northwestern Lehigh, which produced the first undefeated regular season in Tigers history. Josh Snyder's group, led by senior signal caller and Kent State commit Justin Holmes, featured an explosive offense that proved unstoppable most weeks, averaging better than 37 points per game during the regular year, leading to 8 double-digit wins in the season's first 10 weeks.
We made school history tonight, going 10-0. We make a habit on playing 1 week at a time, going 1-0 each week. The guys were focused with the leadership of this guy right here. Wouldn't be denied at all. Proud of all 3 phases, the coaching staff, this whole team practices their tails off, and to come out of it on top in a really tough division, could be more happy and proud.
I'm so excited. It's our first year in this league to go 10-0. It's awesome. So that's one of what Coach just said. It's one of our goals to get the league championship. Now we got districts. We're going to enjoy this weekend. We got districts next weekend. We're so excited.
Unsurprisingly, the Tigers entered the district playoffs as the number 1 seed in Class 4A. And after a semifinal triumph over Wilson, collided with Central in the postseason for the 4th straight year. Northwestern ousted the Vikings in the district quarters back in 2018, but ever since, the rivalry has belonged to Central Catholic. The Vikings prevailed in the semifinals in 2019 before claiming district gold with a 35-6 win over the Tigers in 2020. And while this year's title showdown was considerably closer than a year ago, the ultimate outcome was the same, as Central earned a 21-14 victory over Northwestern, securing the program's 2nd straight district crown. Junior Caden Schaefer toted the rock 32 times for 160 yards and 3 touchdowns in the title tilt. The Vikings, with their 13th district championship in program history, tying Bethlehem Catholic for the most district football titles in District 11.
We knew we had to run the ball. We had to run downhill. We knew what the game plan was. We had a hard week of practice. We played well. It was just a good game.
We played really well. The big boys up front really helped us out tonight, and really just got us the win for us. We were relying on so much, and they played their heart out for us. We knew we played a tough schedule this year, and we battled through, and we knew we had a good team with us, and we knew if we just battled it out, we'd be able to get it done.
An intriguing semifinal showdown in 5A between Whitehall and Southern Lehigh Zephyr's senior tailback DeMonte Foreman all but securing Whitehall's spot in the championship on his own, with 5 total touchdowns against the Spartans. Foreman with 3 rushing scores, an 80-yard TD catch, and an 89-yard kickoff return for a touchdown, pushing the Zephs into the finals for the second straight season. But Whitehall was unable to repeat as district champs, falling in heartbreaking fashion in overtime to East Stroudsburg South in the 5A championship. Still, it was quite the run for a group of seniors just 2 years removed from a winless 0-10 campaign.
Yeah, it's a pretty special senior class we're going to have to say goodbye to, so I just made sure they knew that they changed the whole mentality of this program since they got here. They changed it for the better. They left it in a better place than when it was when they got here, and they set the page for the kids coming before them, so that's pretty big.
While in 6A, the 2021 tournament truly felt wide open, with 5 of the 8 combatants boasting at least 7 wins. Top-seeded Parkland cruised past Pocono Mountain West in the quarterfinals, meeting rival Emmaus in the semis. The Green Hornets, having ousted 2-time defending champion Nazareth at Andrew S. Lay Stadium the week prior, just the Blue Eagles' second loss at home in their last 21 games. And Emmaus would make it back-to-back road playoff triumphs with a gutty 21-14 win at Orfield Stadium in the Final Four. Josiah Williams and Dylan Darville connected twice on scoring strikes in the second half as Harold Fairclough and company reached the district final for the second time in the last 4 years. Freedom, meanwhile, was back in the district championship for the second straight season and 5th time in the last 6 years. Jason Roeder's Patriots overwhelmed Easton in the quarters, behind 193 yards rushing and 3 scores from running back Deontay Crawford. A shoulder injury kept the standout senior out of the semifinals at Northampton, but classmate and dual-threat quarterback Brian Taylor had his back, rushing for 143 yards and a pair of touchdowns, including a dazzling 64-yard scoring scamper.
Sidesteps another tackler, still on his feet inside the 30-yard line, and Brian Taylor is going to go the distance. 64 yards for a second rushing touchdown of the quarter.
The District 6A finale between Freedom and Emmaus, a rematch of the 2018 title tilt. And while the Patriots claimed that offensive slugfest 49-17, the 2021 edition was a far more defensive affair. Freedom forced 5 takeaways. Lorenzo Feliciano and Connor Stefanik both had interceptions, Stefanik adding a fumble recovery as well. The Pates allowed just 37 total points across 3 district games, ultimately outlasting Emmaus 28-14 in the finale, earning the program's 9th straight win this season and 2nd district crown in the last 4 years.
Hard to get words, like I said, we were on this field last year, and I promised each and every one of these kids, I pat them on the shoulder pads, and we'll be back. We'll be back, we'll be back. And I said, it's easy to say, trying to make them feel better after a loss, but to come to work every day, our kids and coaches stayed the course, and I'm just so proud of them. I have so much respect for them, the way these kids work, and I'm really happy for them. This is going to be a great couple minutes right here. We had tough kids that don't give up, we don't go away. We didn't go away from last year to this year, and we don't plan on going away.
Sadly, both Freedom and Central seasons then came to a close in the opening round of the state tournament. The Patriots finishing 11-3 overall, while the Vikings closed the 2021 campaign at 9-4. Northern Lehigh, however, made it all the way to the PIAA semis, the Bulldogs reaching the state's Final Four for the first time since 2003. Joe Tout's group, though, saw their magical run end there. Northern Lehigh finishing 11-4 overall, capturing the 4th district title in program history and the first since 2010. Finally, the 2021 season also marked the return of 2 of the longest-standing football rivalries in the state of Pennsylvania, as both Easton and Phillipsburg, as well as Catasauqua and Northampton, renewed their Thanksgiving Day acquaintances. In the 114th all-time meeting, The Red Rovers forced a late fourth quarter takeaway before a 10-yard connection between seniors Cole Transu and Marcus Williams sealed the 7-3 triumph over the Stateliners, Easton's 6th straight victory over Peaburg. Meanwhile, the K-Kids earned their 7th triumph in a row over the Rough Riders in the 98th all-time get-together between Northampton and Caddy.